Hey guys, Mikey, your burnspost. I wanted to do kind of a behind-the-scenes video on Humans, Angels, and Demons Ricky short. So I hope you guys all enjoy this. So how I got the idea to do a short for it is I always wanted to do like something before episode 1 came out. I always wanted to do something, and I knew me just talking about it wouldn't be enough. I needed to have something in universe, and we kind of got something like that when the trailer all way back when. But right now, everything in that trailer is irrelevant to the story at this point. The designs are completely changed. Those versions of those characters probably won't see the light of day again, like what their arcs would be and all that. And maybe someday when I talk about episode 1 in the future like this, or hell, even just talk about the studio and all this in general, maybe I'll talk about it. But for now, yeah, that's all that stuff is irrelevant. So I decided for going on, I should do something in the new fixed universe, the universe that I feel more better in. That's actually, not canon, but more so that if this would be the only thing to come out, then I'd be satisfied. Which it's not. So one night I was showering, right? And I was like, I want to get something out, And, I had an idea, and I was like, okay, so I did it, and it was pretty simple enough. We had a couple mishaps, which I'll talk about later. But I'd say it was very good, and I'd say you guys liked it, considering we have 69 views and 18 likes on it. That's the most likes any of my videos ever gotten, and 69 views is a great number. It blew my expectations that wide. So I hope when I do a Sam short, I hope you all have the same general response to it. So some people ask me what programs do I use and stuff to make this short, and it's all every time I try something new. But for this one, for voicing, I used Audacity. I'm also using it now, as a matter of fact, to record these, since I'll have some images over playing and all that. For music wise, I use MuseScore 3 because one, it's free. All the programs I use are free. It's free, it's easy to use for me, since I actually never ever composed before. I don't know anything about it, and I kind of flying through the seat of my pants with it. But I think the songs I make are catchy, and I know our lyrics is Oz. Me and him have been talking, and I have been getting better. I watch videos. I ask for advice for musical people, such as my friends, family, all that. So I do take criticism when it comes to my music, and if you guys always have criticisms of that, I hope you all always do enjoy it. So yeah, that's always was fun. And how I drew it was I used let me check here, Autodesk Sketchbook. It's free. It's what I use to draw my thumbnails. It's what I use to draw pretty much everything. You guys will see on my channel. Unless it's hand drawn, then that's just in my sketchbook. But yeah, that's what I usually use, and that's what I usually do. Now, I guess storyboarding for this really didn't go as normal storyboards would go, I would say. Really all I did was I drew my sketchbook, how I think some scenes would play out, and I just drew that to the best of my ability. If I were to say anything changed along the way, that first scene where it's Sam and Ricky, Ricky and Sam were supposed to be in the store. Ricky was supposed to be getting food for, just, to live, and Sam, well, let me just tell you, Sam is a bit of weird gal herself. Well, I won't go into why her and Ricky met up, but I will just say it wasn't just pure coincidence, as Ricky would like to think. For the scene with not scene, but with the photo of Ricky and his father, and yes, that is his father. His name is Juke. Juke Lawrence. There's a little stuff about him that you guys don't really need to worry about. But that actually was supposed to be a portrait. It wasn't supposed to be more of a casual thing. But it was supposed to be a portrait, and he was supposed to be like behind Ricky. But I thought that gave him more of a menacing tone. where Juke is really not menacing at all. He's an artist, he's a painter, so he's not really menacing. And he's not supposed to be. But I did come up with a little headcanon, if you will, on what they were doing in that image. You see, that was just a regular tree. However, they put lemons in it and made it a lemon tree. And they were kind of just admiring their handiwork. And the photographer was Larry, the bartender. So I'd like to think that was a very sweet moment between them. And I'll let you guys leave up who carries that photo with them. Either it be Juke, either it be Ricky, or hell, even be Larry. I'll let you guys come up with your own theories with that. My personal headcanon is that they all have a copy of it, but, you know, who cares what I think? I'm just the creator of the show. Alright, the scene at the bar. Well, it's not really a bar. Ricky is 18. Joseph is kind of 20. Yeah, I'd say 20. I haven't really focused on Joseph too much, but I do have somewhat of a plan for him. But yeah, Joseph is 20 and Ricky is 18. They're not drinking beer, they are drinking soda in that bar. I'd like to mention that it's soda. Ricky would go there when he was a child because him and Juke are very good friends. Juke and Larry are good friends. So Juke would leave Ricky there sometimes when he would have to work or just come there to hang out. Joseph, I always thought of a childhood friend. 2 years older than Ricky, so I always thought that was nice. Nice concept. I always was a fan of that. But besides that, yeah, that scene didn't really change too much. The TV wasn't in the original storyboard, but I thought that was just a nice touch. When it comes to designing, I guess I'll talk to designing about these three characters. Designing Juke was easy. I just kind of thought, what would Ricky look like older? Bows out some of his features. As you can see, Juke has more of a square face than Ricky does. Ricky gets his height from his mother, as you guys can tell, since Ricky is quite short. His official height I don't remember, but I could check later in time. But he is the shortest character in the show. So yeah, designing Juke was just thinking of an older Ricky without some of his features and with some different features. Designing Larry was a bit different because when I first thought of Larry, I was thinking of the stereotypical 80s bartender, you know, he got the afro, he would have like, "Ay," but then I thought, that's kind of overdone, so I just kind of made him you guys will see more of his personality as the show progresses, but I kind of want to make him as a wise figure, but I also want to make Juke a wise figure. It's complicated, but think of Larry as your neighbor who just wants to help, but he won't keep giving him. He's not a Ned Flanders, but he will help when needed. He's a family friend who would let you stay at his place for a while if you got bad on your feet, but he'll also tell you to get a job. He won't let you walk all over you. Joseph from the start, I always had a clear design of what Joseph would look like. To contrast to Ricky, Joseph is this well put together guy. He wears the suit, you know. He had that suit on. He had kind of the opposite color palette of Ricky with yellow and grays instead of purples and greens. So yeah, Joseph is this more well put together guy. So when, you know, they both walk into a place together, they think Joseph is being pity on Ricky all the time and all that. So I thought that was always like a fun thing for me to like, because, you know, Ricky is a very self-loathing guy. And of course, like when he sees all his friends who are successful, who are better than him in the eyes of society, in the eyes of his friends and family, he always wants to prove himself. So him having a friend that doesn't really need to prove himself, but supporting Ricky to help him do whatever he needs. That's why Joseph is like, hey, let's go get clothes. Hey, let's get you all dolled up for this. You know, that's what I always thought. And the reason, I guess I can go into this, the reason why Juke and Larry are skeptical of Sam is because Sam's father is a very sketchy man, very sketchy businessman. And, you know, I guess I won't go into that in the Sam short, that is currently not being worked on since I'm working on redesigning some characters right now. But besides that, yeah. For the dinner scene with Ricky and Sam, it was always to end at a dinner, and the reason. Now, you guys might have not noticed this, but when the short starts, we have our backs to Ricky, but our face to Sam. Sam is the first face we see in this universe. That's not a trailer. That's not anything. We get to see Sam's face first. And it's a very trusting look, if I say so myself. She's smiling. However, the red eye kind of gives off, well, I don't know, she's not albino, so she either got contacts or she popped a million blood vessels. But as the short progresses, in the very next scene, you get to see Ricky's face, and you get to see how he's kind of a ruggish guy. His hair's a mess, his jacket's torn to pieces with all the stitching and all that. But you can see there's some kindness to him, and you'll see in episode 1 that he can be kind of a arrogant man. However, as the series goes on, he'll become more kinder, and the kinder will be revealed. And I like to think in this short you can get a good image of him. And then in the bar you also have it back facing, but again when he's loathing to himself, saying I'm not good enough, my friends are better than me. You get to see his back. You don't see his face. But when he's talking about kind of fond memories with his father, well, I guess not fond, since he is like, my dad doesn't want me dating this girl, or but you get to see a better time when his face is towards the camera. You get to see where he's happy. Then the dinner scene, now it's Sam's back to us, now that we learned a little about Sam, that his friends and family aren't really trusting of her. Now her back is to us, but again, Ricky's facing us since he's in a happy moment of his life. He gets to talk to his childhood crush in a romantic setting, and of course he's happy, he's excited. Because boys, you know how boys are these days, guys. But I always thought that, I think that's interesting. But yeah, that was pretty much drawing it and all that, and it was a very fun time. And now I'll go into some bloopers of drawing it. Alright guys, so here you'll see, this was a very long project. It took me 2 months to do. However, here you'll see the birth of Ronky Lawrence. I was trying to work on the sketch, and I just couldn't get the face right. Like, no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get the face right, no matter what, guys. So I had to restart that whole face mold for Ricky and all that. And it was so time-consuming to get this done. However, Ronky Lawrence shall ever hold a place in my heart. It was actually my profile picture for a little bit on my Discord. So Ronky Lawrence is always a treat. And later, I wanted to do a background fast. However, I realized that I'm going too fast with this. And so the picture you're seeing now is that you will get to see Ronky Lawrence's darker side of him just being Sans. It's a joke in the studio that all my characters are just secretly Sans Undertale. Because Michael, guys, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this behind the scenes look on how my thought process goes, and if I fond memories and meaning behind scenes, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Can you expect a Sam short in the near future? I can say definitely before the end of 2021. That's, with the Ricky short, it was an experiment, and it was a successful experiment. But don't expect more than 2 shorts this year, because I am trying to everybody at the studio is working hard on episode 1, right? We got our talented voice actors coming in and out, replacing roles, leaving roles. So yeah, we have all those guys working hard. Then we have our talented artists, unfortunately having to take a break because I want to redesign characters. And I am redesigning characters. As the time you'll be hearing this, I'm currently redesigning Michael. And his design, I'm kind of trying to keep it less complicated than his other one, but also keep it kind of that Mikey style, And I have said this before, I want to have it in my style and not as my friend designing it. My friend Morgan, she's a very lovely person. However, it just didn't have my feel to it. I wanted to design it. So yeah, you have that. But yeah, when you may be asking, when can we anticipate episode 1? Not this year. But if I would to say the earliest, I don't know. I'm not gonna give you an exact date or even an estimate because I don't want anybody getting their hopes up if this does gain traction. However, you can always anticipate a short coming around. It does only take me 2 months to do, so and that it wasn't the Ricky short wasn't too taxing on my health. So, yeah. So if we are going to do a Sam short, characters you can expect in it, I guess. Well, you got Sam yourself, you got Andrew, her father, and a couple side characters that I want to introduce that couldn't be introduced in episode 1, so don't anticipate that. And some characters who do appear in episode 1 probably won't get a short. Like Abbott's not getting a short, Sarah's not getting a short, Jasper's not getting a short, Andrew's not getting a short. So the people who I can guarantee you who are getting a short before episode 1, well, we already had Ricky, Sam, Michael, and Bruce. Because those are characters I want to flesh out. Characters that if you were to say we have a main 4 for season 1, hell, I couldn't even say that because, well, I don't really have a plan for the entirety of season 1. I have a rough outline of it. But this outro is getting a little too long. Yeah, but guys, make sure you please like and subscribe this video. Because this will let me know you guys like behind the scenes videos of the whole creative process, I guess. And I'll record more stuff when I do work on shorts and redesigning, all that. Just for the general future. If this video gets 30 views, I'll do more of this. Yeah, make sure you like this video because it gets pushed to the forefront. Make sure you subscribe because we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Now, I know this goal seems steep, so here's your incentive. I will wear a maid outfit if you guys get me to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And yeah, I'll do it. I'm crazy. Tell me I won't. But yeah, I'll do that, and I'll think that's pretty fun. But yeah, and also share this video because you won't have to watch the next one. I've been burnspost, and I hope everybody's having a great day out there, and have a swell weekend, and I hope the stars may shine down